Metal Rules, and we're here with Gavin from Damnation Festival. How's it going?
Pretty well. We're at Bloodstock, weather's amazing, maybe a bit too amazing, and bands have been great. It's been a good weekend so far. How about yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Seen some good bands so far. Who's been your highlight?
Well, I got in last night, so I never saw much of yesterday, but we caught Behemoth, who were obviously amazing. Sleep Token were absolutely amazing.
Oh yes.
And then today I was quite excited about the run of Mastiff, Pupil Slicer, and then up next is Cage Fight. So enjoyed Mastiff and Pupil Slicer. And that's kind of the reason I'm at Bloodstock as well, because to check out some of these bands playing to these kind of crowds and seeing what it's like with a view of maybe one day having them at Damnation.
That's great. So that actually leads us very neatly onto the reason why we're talking today, which is Damnation Festival. So you've got bands like Decapitated, Incantation and Pallbearer all confirmed. Any others that you've got lined up?
Yeah, I mean, the bands are even fast. So we'll get Ministry, Converge, At the Gates doing Slaughter of the Soul, My Dying Bride, Pig Destroyer, Elder are on that tour with Pallbearer. So it's the lineup for this year's pretty spectacular. There's a couple of bands still to be announced, but the headliners are all announced. I mean, the big four you're going to get at the main stage is going to be that one of Ministry, Converge, At the Gates doing Slaughter of the Soul, and My Dying Bride, which in itself is a pretty fucking spectacular.
That is an amazing lineup right there. So let's go behind the curtain. How, like, when you get round to planning the next Damnation Festival, how does it start? So
this is a weird one for us, because for folk that don't know Damnation as well, we've moved to an arena now. So we started in 2005 in Manchester in a venue called Jilly's What World, which is now a Tesco, and then we moved to Leeds in 2007. We've been there since, but we've sold out every year since 2016. So it kind of got to the stage, it was just the festival was bigger than the venue.
Yeah.
And so we moved back to Damnation, to Manchester. We have a 6,000 capacity arena, basically a 3-stage arena, deck, bowls for people who know Manchester, and if we sell out to the 6,000, which we're on course to do, we'll become the biggest indoor metal festival in Europe.
Oh, incredible!
It's all good. So that's this year's been, to answer your question, this has been different because the plan for this year's like, how do we move to an arena? What bands do you book? How do you put production into an arena? Like, the production for this year, the lights and the PA is more expensive than the entire putting on a festival at Leeds. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a huge jump. So this year's been kind of different, but in a standard year, you need to start with, well, ultimately it's the bands, isn't it? The bands are the be-all and end-all, so you basically just try to make as many offers to the bands that you want as possible, knowing that for every 5 bands you go for, you might get one if you're lucky, you know what I mean? So it's getting that lineup together, but fortunately, we've been good down the years of getting those shows and those headliners that we wanted, and then when you get the headliners you want, you get the opportunity to go for we're bringing We Lost the Sea in from Australia to play their first ever show in the UK, Frail across for America, So Hideous across for America. These are all UK debuts, but they're not bands that are going to sell you tickets. Ministry and Converge are going to sell you tickets, but if you get that right, it allows you to be a little bit more experimental and a bit more exciting about the rest of the bill. So that's basically how we plan a year in, year out.
Great. So with your headliners, what is usually kind of the plan when you go about deciding which ones that you're after? Do you try and keep it a bit of a mix? Do you try and go for something more extreme, or just something, as you said, that would help sell?
There's definitely a mixed bag in it, because there's a bit about opportunity and availability, and then what you want, you know what I mean? So it's easy for me to sit here and say, well, we always wanted, so let's say Converge, right? We always wanted Converge, but if Converge are just not going to play in the winter, then that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
When it was Damnation was a 3,000 capacity festival, which is kind of half the size that is now, we were able to go for Carcass. And we got Carcass for the first UK show in 13 years. We got Bolt Thrower for the only show they ever done in the only festival they ever played in the UK.
Wow.
They kind of bookings are not necessarily what you would do if you were just a normal promoter, because those bands you might say we'll all sell you 500 tickets, but for Damnation, if you get it right and you put the bill right, they'll sell you 3,000 tickets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's we've had that. We've had misses as well. You know what I mean? We had the years when we booked in 2009, we booked Life of Agony, and you think, oh, that's a great band, but they didn't do the same. You know what I mean? So then you do 2009, you get to the end of the year and you lose 13 grand. You know what I mean? You get to the end of the year, you've worked all year for the festival and you've lost your money. So there's no science to it that you're going to get bob on. I mean, especially with something like Damnation, where you're not just going for. It'd be easier for just to book Five Finger Death Punch and sell 3,000 tickets than it would be to book everything we do in Damnation. But the point of Damnation is you're supposed to show up at noon and enjoy all the bands through the day. It's not a headline band plus the extras.
Supporting cast.
So when we come to the headliners, it's a wee bit about availability, it's a wee bit about bands, but then the fans know the kind of bands we're going to go for. You're going to go for let's look at next year. We're going to go for a Clutch, a Meshuggah,
great bands.
I mean, who else is that for? That's Emperor, like these kind of bands. But but ultimately, like if they're not on tour, that's not even an option. It's not even a discussion. You make it, like you don't even get to the offer stage. You're like, we're just not doing it.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a bit of that as well. You start the year, you have a dream of what you might get, and then by a month later, it's basically what's available.
Great. So, over the years, what would you say has been your favourite or best lineup, in your opinion?
No, it was weird because I mentioned 2009. Like that lineup that year was incredible with Electric Wizard, Anathema, Destruction, Life of Agony, Mock Up, Yezu, This Will Destroy You. I mean, I think if you put the lineup that we had in 2009 on now, we would have 3,000 fans, like double the amount of people would buy it, but we were maybe a wee bit too early with that lineup. Like I don't think folk were ready for some of the, like Electric Wizard becoming as big as they became. You know what I mean? Like they're already headlining Cycle Las Vegas now and events stages in Europe. When we booked them at that point, I think people were still trying to cotton on to Electric Wizard. So that was definitely a good lineup. But then for me personally, in 2006 when we booked Cult of Luna with Julie Christmas, which was the only time that set Mariner had ever been done in the UK. No time it will ever be done in the UK, because I don't think they've got any plans to do it again. That for me was that's the essence of Damnation booking, like just putting something together that it's a one-off you might never see again. Yeah. And come and enjoy it and be like, you get fans now that talk about the album and don't even realise that Damnation existed, you know what I mean, or that happened, you know what I mean, or flew to another country to see it. And that for me is definitely 2009 is maybe what that lineup that I hold on to, because I'm not like not enough people came, but I feel like it's a really special lineup. And then 2016, that Cult of Luna and Jolly Christmas set is definitely my set of Damnation over 15 years, is the one I'm like, that was the pinnacle.
Yeah. So, the next one, you're probably predicting this one, someone comes along and gives you all of the money you could ever ask for. You can put on your dream Damnation lineup.
Right, okay.
Go on then.
Okay, so all the money in the world to do it. If I don't look at this season of Damnation, because there's no particular Damnation line, but if you go to, let's say I run Bloodstock, right?
Yeah.
I got all the money in the world to do it. The three headliners are Deftones, 9 Inch Nails, and A Perfect Circle. Well, if I've got all the money in the world, that Perfect Circle might as well be Tool. But even at Bloodstock's level, like Deftones, 9 Inch Nails, and A Perfect Circle is the three headliners that I would have. That'd be like that is the be all and end all. After that, there's millions of really exciting bands, but the three headliners I think would be something pretty special.
Yeah, that sounds like an awesome lineup. So, what can you tell us a little bit more about what you've got planned for future Damnation festivals?
So, because it's such a big jump this year, the focus is so much in 2022 to make sure November smashes it out of the park, because there's no point going to a festival and people not enough toilets, or people queuing to get into stuff, or the food's not available or whatever, and then people like sell 6,000 tickets and everybody's a shit time. No one's coming back in 2023. So right now the future for me is November.
Yeah.
After that, then I mean, you get 6,000, like you can do pretty much whatever the fuck you want at that point. If you make sure the fans have the best time and the fans are all going to come back, at 6,000 tickets, you can do a lot. I mean, you can bring, especially in our scene, this isn't it about trying to go and get, oh my god, or a Man of Marth, or fucking arch enemy, like they bands, they're Bloodstock bands, and then into the main stage are download style bands. But you can't do, you're not doing that. But what at Damnation level you can do is then maybe go and get whatever your favourite band is doing your favourite album, because the support's there and getting something really special at that level. No, just get the Lamb of God set that Bloodstock have got. I mean, it's like you got to Pig Destroyer and saying, look, can you do Prowler on the Yard? Now that's never been done in the UK. Could we get that happen? Now, yeah, the answer's yes, you could. Now, Damnation's already sold it now. That might happen this year.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you can't just jump off the cliff. You know what I mean? You need that support, and if that happens, then you can get yourself into a really. The point I made earlier about the Cult of Luna and Jolly Christmas, that's a one-off. Now, Cult of Luna and Jolly Christmas is not the biggest booking in the world. It's not Lamb of God, it's no Merciful Fate, it's not Behemoth. But to the fan, to me, that is the best booking in the world, you know what I mean? So that's what Damnation's about. It's about trying to make things even more special.
Yeah.
If we can maintain that huge fan base coming to an arena and then allowing us the opportunity to really throw major money at bands that might not otherwise see those offers.
Yeah, great. Right, well, thank you so much for speaking with us today. Last question, is there anything that you'd like to say to the Metal Rules audience or the Bloodstock audience?
Like, get along. The thing about Damnation's quite a special and unique atmosphere. Is what you get is it's a 12-hour burst of energy. It's folk who have 3 children, a mortgage, and a job to get back to, and Monday night they show up, they want to blow out. It's not we've got 4 days at a festival, a tent set up, and these events are all fantastic. But what makes Damnation different is everybody shows up at noon. They absolutely go balls to the wall till midnight, crash, Sunday to recover, back to work, back to life on Monday, and it gives it a real special. Everybody's up for it. There's something really good about going to a 3rd or 4th stage to the opening band and seeing 1,000 people there. You know what I mean? A band that played the night before to 20, and they get and everybody's up for it, and everybody's interested and invested. You can only get on Damnation if you're fucking great. You know what I mean? There's no relationships with agents, no relationships with managers, there's no buy-ins, no sponsorship, there's no nonsense. So if you're the opening band, if you're Infernal Sea or Ren or June or Boss Kellogg, you're excellent, and that's the reason you're on that bill. And the fans know that, so they show up and they pack the stages, and I love that side of it. And if a Metal Rules or Bloodstock audience wanted to come and have a 12-hour blowout, then Damnation's the place to be.
Great stuff. Right, Gavin, thank you so much for speaking to us today about Damnation Festival. Enjoy the rest of Bloodstock, and hopefully we'll be seeing you, and Metal Rules will be seeing you at Damnation in November.
Yeah, in November, get ourselves along in November, and absolutely thank you very much for spending the time to talk to me.
Great, thank you very much.